Meow, my friends. Russia's putting together quite the party in Kursk, and they've invited 10,000 of Kim Jong-un's finest to join the festivities. That's right. Putin's mobilizing 50,000 troops, including a spicy North Korean flavor, for a counteroffensive that's got everyone's knickers in a twist. This isn't just any old troop movement. It's a full-blown attempt to reclaim territory lost to Ukraine back in August. Talk about a belated summer vacation. General Oleksandr Syrskyi, Ukraine's top military man, is sounding the alarm bells, calling this troop concentration a serious threat that cannot be underestimated. Well, thank goodness he clarified that. I was worried 50,000 enemy soldiers might just be there for a friendly game of capture the flag. Syrskyi went on to say, "The importance of this operational area cannot be overlooked." Really, Colonel? I thought 50,000 troops were just Putin's way of saying, "Welcome to the neighborhood." For those of you who slept through history class, Kursk isn't just another dot on the map. It's where the biggest tank battle in history took place during World War II. Seems like Putin's feeling nostalgic for the good old days of massive military showdowns. Maybe he's hoping to recreate that classic tanks a lot moment. But this time, he's spicing things up with a dash of North Korean flavor. It's like he's trying to make borscht, but accidentally grabbed the kimchi instead of the beets. Now, my friends, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the Trump in the tower. The Kremlin denies any chit-chat between Trump and Putin. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said, "This is completely untrue. There was no conversation." But let's be honest, when has a little thing like truth ever gotten in the way of a good old-fashioned diplomatic kerfuffle? Perhaps they were just exchanging hair care tips. After all, both are known for their unique coiffures. With North Korean troops joining the party, we might see some interesting cultural exchanges on the battlefield. Perhaps Russian soldiers will learn the art of synchronized goose-stepping, while the North Koreans discover the joy of vodka rations. It's like the world's most terrifying buddy cop movie, coming soon to a conflict zone near you. I can see the movie poster now. Putin and Kim, too nuke, too furious. As Russia funnels more rubles into this military misadventure, I can't help but wonder, is Putin planning to heat his palace with burning banknotes this winter? Meanwhile, the UN is preparing to release another strongly worded statement. I'm sure that will have Putin quaking in his designer boots. Dear Mr. Putin, we strongly suggest you reconsider your actions. Pretty please with a cherry on top. Sincerely, the United Nations. That ought to do it. But let's not forget about the poor folks in Kursk. They're probably thrilled to be at the centre of this geopolitical chess game. Nothing says prime real estate like being the potential ground zero for World War III. I hear property values skyrocket when you can watch tanks roll by from your front porch. Lovely 3-bedroom home, great schools, and a front row seat to the apocalypse. Act now. With all this high-tech warfare, I half expect to see Iron Man flying over the battlefield. But instead, we've got drones that look like they were assembled with spare parts from Radio Shack. It's like watching a Michael Bay movie, but with a budget cut and fewer explosions. Although, given the current situation, I'm sure they're working on the explosion part. Transformers, rise of the discount drones, coming to a war-torn region near you. If you're enjoying this geopolitical soap opera as much as I am, why not hit that like button faster than Putin can say, "It wasn't me"? It's probably the only button you can safely hit without starting World War III. And while you're at it, subscribe to Newscats for more updates on this thrilling saga of international idiocy. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of this military mashup. Apparently, the North Korean soldiers are undergoing rigorous training with their Russian comrades. I hear the curriculum includes Advanced Vodka Consumption 101 and How to Look Menacing in Below Zero Temperatures. Graduates receive a complimentary fur hat and a lifetime supply of frostbite. It's like a really intense cultural exchange program, but with more artillery. Ukraine's military strategists are probably wishing they could trade in their tanks for a giant can of bug spray to deal with this infestation of foreign troops. But fear not, General Syrskyi has a plan. It involves a lot of finger crossing and hoping that the North Korean troops get lost on their way to the front lines. Maybe they can redirect them to a nice beach resort instead. Sorry, comrades, Crimea is that way. Honest mistake. If this offensive succeeds, Putin might finally achieve his dream of recreating the Soviet Union. Coming soon, the USSR 2.0, meow with 100% more North Korean flavour. I can already see the tourism slogans. Come for the borscht, stay for the mandatory military service. They're really diversifying their portfolio of authoritarian regimes. With all these sanctions, you'd think Russia's economy would be in shambles. But apparently, Putin's found a loophole. Just invite your sanctioned friends to join your war effort. It's like a reverse Uno card, but with tanks and international condemnation. You can't sanction me if I'm already sanctioned. Asterisk taps forehead asterisk. As tensions rise, so do oil prices. I'm starting to think Putin's real endgame is to make us all switch to bicycles. It's an eco-friendly invasion, my friends. Who knew Putin was such a climate activist? Next, we'll see Russian tanks running on solar power and North Korean missiles propelled by the power of positive thinking. But let's not forget about the brave citizens of Kursk. They're living through what can only be described as the world's worst block party. Instead of music and barbecues, they've got artillery fire and the constant threat of becoming an involuntary participant in a geopolitical grudge match. Talk about a neighbourhood watch programme gone wrong. Hey, Boris, is that a North Korean soldier in your garden? Nah, just a very lost tourist. I'm giving him directions to Pyongyang via Moscow. Now, with the recent US election results, we might see some interesting developments in this conflict. Will President-elect Trump try to solve this crisis with a reality TV show? The Apprentice, Kremlin edition, where contestants compete to see who can annex the most territory without getting fired out of a cannon. And let's not forget the potential international response to this escalation. I'm sure we'll see some strongly worded tweets from world leaders, followed by a flurry of hashtag activism. #stop the invasion, #Putin please, no #Kim go home. That ought to solve everything. As for the military technology being used, I hear Russia's latest tanks come equipped with a vodka dispenser and a dashboard hula girl. Meanwhile, North Korea's contribution includes catapults capable of launching soldiers over enemy lines. It's not the most efficient method, but it certainly makes for an impressive spectacle. So there you have it, my friends. Russia and North Korea teaming up like the world's most unlikely superhero duo. Will they save the day for Putin's ego? Or will they face the wrath of Colonel General Syrskyi and his merry band of Ukrainian defenders? Stay tuned for the next episode of As the World Burns. Same Cats time, same Cats channel. In the meantime, I predict we'll see Putin and Kim Jong-un start a boy band to raise funds for their military escapades. The Dictators, their first single annexation sensation, is already topping the charts in countries with state-controlled media. And who knows, maybe they'll take their show on the road. The Oppression World Tour, coming to a forcibly annexed territory near you. Thanks for tuning in to Newscats. I'm Ron de Parmesan, reminding you that in the game of geopolitics, the only winning move is not to play, unless you're a satirical news anchor, in which case it's comedy gold.